point. I mean, and it's also a jungle hero that has not been seen for a while. I feel like Ophelia,
Yeah.
Parasite, and we've even seen like Solstice and Legionnaire and like different junglers kind of pop up. But Tempest has really died off
Yeah.
until recently, until the patch where the jungle changes happened and it kind of brought him back here.
Even then, I want to say that it's not that big of a deal for Tempest. Had always been like farming, 300, 350 deep permanent jungle. He's
Yeah.
gonna be more consistent now, but I mean, I say the changes are bigger for Legionnaires and Solstice. But yeah, it's Mint definitely likes the hero, and that's what they're choosing to go with.
See right here, the second stage of picks now coming out after a Silhouette Doctor, Malikan Prisoner, Oogie, and Revenant bans happening here. So complexity, that's also a power of Swiftblade. It's never too sure if that's going to be a suicide or more of a carry Swiftblade. And I feel like for complexity, they actually do like to run it more as a formless Swiftblade,
Hmm.
more of the carry even. But let's see how they end up here. Their fourth pick now, so if
Yeah,
that's the case.
I think you're right. It's very rare that I see complexity run a suicide Swordblade.
Yeah, not Oscar's hero usually, but Mint will still need their carry, and guess who's open? Nope, he's not. Never mind. Malikan's not.
Oh, he's out. Yeah,
I was going to
there
say
we
him.
go.
Last game he was, once again, but they did not pick him. They went with the Nighthound instead, so
I
there's
They're not
Behemoth.
gonna do that again. I think ProBusk is like, we tried something new, boys, but I don't want that anymore. Let's go back to what I like. Give me Malikan's band. Give me something that I like. So I think they're gonna be going with like one of the strong, maybe even Magebane, to be honest. He's pretty good against Swiftblade, in the sense that he can blink out of the ulti from Swift and whatnot.
Yeah.
Darklight even. Riptide. Okay,
Oh,
well that's
wow.
also something.
Again, Probus played it last cycle against X-Sync in the bracket stages, and he did do very well with it. Now, it's not their usual style, at least in Probus' hands. Now, if maybe Haxorn's playing it,
I
then
think it's Haxorn that's going to be playing it.
okay,
He's been playing it in scrims, and he's been dominating with it as well.
okay,
So I think they're still waiting for a hard carry pickup here.
gotcha. Yeah, that changes it a little bit, definitely. Then,
Mm-hmm.
I wonder too if there's some idea. Maybe is it because of a Swift? Like, is he good against a Swift Blade? Perhaps I'm trying to think. Like, it's silence. I guess maybe it might be decent, and his ultimate is a
Not
physical
necessarily.
stun, I want to say, or superior magic. So I mean, there's that, but yeah, I don't know if there's necessarily for that reason. But
I don't think he's that particularly good against Swiftblade, but he has a really strong mid matchup, and I think right now on Min's mind, they just want to do something that they have tested before. They've done it before, and they have succeeded with it. They want to play some comfort, and I think Riptide is a comfort for them.
yeah,
And also he's strong against Meraxes in mid lane. Empath, I'm not so sure, but we'll wait and see. I think we got a hard carry coming.
yeah. I mean, who though is another hero that actually I was actually talking with Waza a little bit after the last week. As I tend to do, especially when the big patch comes out, we go over like what we're seeing in the competitive scene and how things are looking and stuff. And he noticed especially too that Deadwood was not seen. I think we saw him one game, and from what I could tell, and I agree. I mean, Deadwood got some pretty nice buffs here in this last
Yeah, yeah,
patch, and we did
definitely.
not see him. We only saw him the once, like I said, and it didn't even really seem like we got a lot from him in the game that we did see him. So
He's picked up a lot in TMM, is what I can say. So I think it's just a matter of time that someone like wants to pick him up. I've seen recent gaming, sorry, Evil Corporation play him as well. There we go.
yeah,
But yeah, I I wouldn't classify Deadwood as a hero for either Mint or Complexity, and maybe it's, oh, wow.
there goes
Now
Soul Stealer.
why? But why so? I guess he has some decent damage output.
Yeah,
They don't want to go too hard of a like. They don't want to go Mage Bane because then they might end up, getting dominated mid game by the Swiftblade Behemoth Raxus core. So I guess it makes sense that they go for a carry that has a lot of damage output.
hmm
but and it has a great utility together with the Tempest ulti, of course. If Tempest lands a good ulti, Soul Stealer can go and get in there and just explode everything. But if I had to give any either team
An edge.
an edge here, I'll definitely go with Legion side. The
Okay.
BT initiation is going to like do naughty stuff to Soul Stealer, and behind that there's also Swiftblade and the Parasite. I think Complexity has really nailed the draft here.
Yeah.
They have something like in the mid game range. Where that's going to be really strong. They get the Poliki and Behe, they get the Poliki and Raxus, they have the Puzzle Box and Parasite, and the other team is just not going to be able to go in on them.
Hmm.
Where Mint has sort of like, I mean, their heroes are not exactly late game, but they can still do quite well in the late game. Like Soul Stealer, decent late game. Riptide, I haven't seen that game, but I assume that he's going to do fine as well. And then Tempest, of course, with the with the Restoration Stone can just be an absolute menace to deal with. But it's a little bit more unclear what their goal is on mid side.
Yeah.
Um, but we're paused. The
We
strat
are.
pause.
That we are. That we are. So take a little bit of time to talk it over here. I'm sure. It is kind of interesting seeing that Soul Stealer final pick and how it very likely may match up with a Glacius in the lane as well. Soul Stealer Glacius was actually a lane a long time ago when we did
Mm.
see Soul Stealer. That was that we saw a little bit of at least that I can recall. So kind of going really old school there. With that,
Very strong. Like
combo.
if you get frozen again with a Soul Stealer against you, I mean, he's gonna land his Demon Hands on you, and that's usually
Yeah.
enough to send you all the way like quickly back to base in the form of being dead. And it's a Behe who doesn't really have an escape. All right,
Absolutely.
Min are ready.
They are. I'm checking the other series too. The other series that actually is going on at the same time this one started was Bad Monkey Gaming versus Revolution. BMG again falling 0-2 to Fresh. It looks like they're now up 1-0 over Revolution and just starting game two. Revolution running a Arachna there, even their signature Blitz and Hellbringer, but not enough
Oh,
to pull through. So, they went with a Chrono Suicide. It looks like on the side of BMG. What about Baltazar played Chipper? Okay, interesting.
yeah, that's what they would do sometimes. A short lane chipper. That's if you remember like the old beam like Lions, the Hanskin, Jonas and Fan. That's what they sometimes did. They laned the chipper on Fusi, and it would absolutely just dominate the Suicide hero.
Yeah, I definitely do remember those days there. So that was fun stuff there, and that's what BMG kind of obviously a completely different team, but maybe taking the
Yeah,
name a little bit there and
yeah. Same sponsor.
running a similar idea. Middle lane. So this is I do find to be the limited times we've seen Riptide now, and maybe expect to start seeing him a little bit more because of these changes, especially. But it's got to be so frustrating dealing with him with this in my element, the puddle that he puts down. Because unlike Tremble, you can't destroy it. You just can't do anything against it. You can rev ward, and so you can at least see him, but he still gets the enhanced buffs out of
Yep.
it. So
Yeah, it's gonna be really tough for Meraxis. It looks like Meraxis is even looking at a 1v1 against Riptide, so Haxun is gonna have a pretty good time. You hit pretty hard and pretty fast when you're in the water, and yeah, the buff to In My Element definitely makes sure that Riptide is kind of always in his element, making him hard to deal with.
absolutely, absolutely. So here he is, middle lane.
Oh,
He'll
buffing.
be. Oh, the action already? Wow. Magnus? Okay, yeah, he's stunned
If
through.
that ball, if the ball lands,
There you
oh, the
go.
ball.
There's a spin. Is this going to be enough? It should be. Yep. Bloodlust kill for Complexity. Coming out
There we
there.
go.
So they were sitting here on the outpost the whole time. Just a
Yeah,
matter of Magnus running into them.
They even had like a water sight down. They really anticipated Sibba's play here. He must maybe it's something he's been doing a lot, and they've been watching replays. At least I want to give them credit for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they definitely read his play and a good counter.
How about the choice to send Glacius middle here for Riptide? That does leave Soul Stealer solo against a Behemoth, which I think he can manage, of course. But
Yeah, he's gonna win that easy. Soul Stealer is Yeah, that's not even gonna be a lot of like Bihi is already out of mana. Solstier is just gonna build up his souls, and then Bihi will have to leave. So it makes sense to give an edge to Riptide in mid, who is in a much more balanced matchup against the Meraxes.
Yeah. Well, this is a rev ward? Wow. This rev ward here in the middle lane. I had to do a double take. That's an interesting
Like sword?
look on it, yeah. But yeah, I guess it is a rev ward there from placed by Fuzzy Sloth. For the rip, so that goes back though again to the Riptide here that it's frustrating to deal with. But to be fair, rev ward will essentially take his invis aspect at least away, which is good. You see Moraxis being harassed and kind of pushed out of experience range there a little bit between the Glacius and the Riptide, but
Meraxes is just really strong. Like he's not even harmed that much from Glacius being there. I don't think Oscar is ever gonna find himself in a situation where he will die, just because he's Meraxes.
yeah.
But
I don't know. I mean, maybe when he's maybe like level 5, possibly. Riptide can actually do some decent damage with that Watery Grave and get in there, but especially even a level 6. But yeah, it's definitely not going to be easy, if that. So, Moraxis, keeping him out of experience range is a very difficult task as well, and so he should also be out leveling them ideally.
Yeah.
Despite this being 2 versus 1 here.
Yeah, and Provost, as expected, is just dominating top. He's getting the same amount of farm he would have gotten even if Glacius were here. So.
Yeah, see Oscar kind of just poking back in, like in and out, but not a lot he can do against Solstier Provost positioning. Very wise right there. And making sure to address him every time he tries to maybe get a last hit or some kind of experience. Iceland Gogo is doing his thing in the jungle in the meantime. Parasite also the same idea there, and kind of comparing the two. Tempest is doing a little bit better, and that's not surprising. I think it's safe to say Tempest is a better farmer here.
Yeah, that's kind of always been the deal. Parasite was a little bit slower than Tempest and Legionnaire.
Yeah. Middle lane? No, I thought Riptide was getting a little aggressive there, but just denying creeps, I guess. What did I... Yeah, look at this, man. Formless, 500 gold per minute. Yeah, I guess the Bloodlust skills maybe a lot to thank for that, but...
It's like, that's not possible, Breaky. But yeah, no, that's a Bloodlust, definitely. Switchblade up to a really good start.
Yeah, and this creep farm is, of course, on point as well, so... Those things together equals, that's the 500 gold per minute. And then it's Parasite, but it does drop off a lot after that, to be fair. I mean, Moraxis, he is actually being locked down when it comes to farm. I mean, sure, he might be getting some levels here, but they are addressing him when it comes to the gold farm, is Fuzzy Sloth. Having trouble.
Yeah, definitely. He's, I mean, he's staying at full HP because that way they can't kill him. But, if he takes too much harassment from Glacius, all of a sudden he can be a kill. And so yeah, Fuzzy's just playing it smart, just getting XP for now. And bot lane? No, okay. Fair enough.
Trying to, but Magnus, with those boots of his, a little too quick.
Definitely. There's a difference in XP here from the suicides. Oscar's level 5, Magnus level 2. That's the presence, or the non-presence from Glacius, where Love decided to stay bottom with Swiftblade. So yeah, Magnus is having a worse time than Bihi, but still, at the same time, Magnus's mid lane hero, Riptide, is having a way better time than Meraxes, and that's the trade-off they went for.
Got the life too finished on, or picked up even on Formless here, so I guess the Rune Cleaver is possibly going to be an option for him, again playing that short lane Swiftblade.
I must be, because you don't go Helm with Swiftblade, and Nullstone doesn't make a whole lot of sense either. Even though they were formerly called Team Nullstone, but still, I doubt it. I doubt it.
Yeah, it's not. I guess this Hellborn team, it actually isn't a horrible choice, but it's not great either. Yeah, no, I don't think it's going to be Nullstone by any means. I'm trying to recall what he usually gets when he plays Swiftblade, and honestly, I can't really remember. It probably is a Rune Cleaver, to be fair.
Oh, Meraxes is being aggressive here on
This is why
Oh,
he has Parasite coming in, but not going to be enough. You see Haxorn throws down the In My Element, and also just it's a little too deep right there.
yeah. Fuzzy not really feeling that he could land the stun. That's unfortunate. But yeah, Formless is definitely, one of those players that will play, like he was the one to play Ravener as a complete hard carry without the pole key. In that sense, it kind of carries over into the rest of his like play style. He plays the hero usually as a complete hard carry, so I wouldn't be surprised if he went for the Rune Claver.
Absolutely. Tempest has the Ring of Sorcery finished, 350 gold per minute pretty much, so again, really just continuing to excel. I mean, the top farmer is Swiftblade, but you have Riptide, Soul Stealer, and Tempest all doing pretty damn good when it comes to their farm. So that early, team fight, and look at this Veiled Rot. What is going on here? Tempest is here, but so is Behemoth and Emma. All of them, they're all going to be exposed, and here we go. Chaos all over the place. Tempest, he's going to fall first. The Shockwave went off. He got caught by it, and Riptide goes down as well. That you knew something crazy was going to happen, and it just so happened to work for Complexity there.
That was a really nicely timed stun from Fuzzy. He caught Tempest right before Tempest ulti went off. Iceland Gogo he's really sad about that. That was a second more, and Iceland Gogo would have won that fight for his team.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good timing from Fuzzy Slash.
Both teams having the same idea to Veil Rot in the middle lane like that this early on. That is not something often seen.
But these guys, they definitely play the same Han. They play the same type of Han with like the late game, sort of like the slow drafts.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe they've been, I don't know, maybe that's just their playstyle, clashing against each other, and then Fuzzy being 1 second faster than Iceland Goku, securing the mid matchup.
God, Fuzzy's lost still, though, even despite being 0-0-1 and level 70, he's only 185 gold per minute. Really just cannot get anything here. And you can't blame him, though. Again, Riptide, talk about one of the tougher middle matchups in the game.
Oh, yeah.
Especially, I think, as a melee hero. I mean, he's got to be up there. So,
like, Riptide hits for 120. He hits for double the amount of Maraxis. So, like, you can't blame him for not being able to last hit.
And Glacius has been here for a lot of it, too. So
yeah, as well.
There is that, of course. But meanwhile, by the way, so the top tower was pushed in by Soul Stealer while that middle fight took place, so at least they got that there. Meanwhile, you see the Empath wall going off, trying to maybe either catch somebody, or I guess they counter-warded there. So they make use of it.
It's just secure the counter ward, pretty much.
Look at Soul Stealer, by the way. So we mentioned Nullstone not on Swiftblade. It looks like, yeah, he is going to Rune Cleaver definitely now. But Nullstone on Soul Stealer, however, is going to be happening, it looks like.
That is... Actually, I guess he did it to deal with Swiftblade? Like, just in case that Swiftblade, gets the Shroud and start, like, trying to chase Soul Stealer in the jungle with ulti, that's going to prevent Swiftblade from being able to kill Soul Stealer early on, but
yeah,
all of that, it doesn't do a whole lot for Buzz. It gives him it's a farming ability. I guess it's not the worst. Swiftblade bottom. Oh, that was close.
Well, that was because Empath was actually at the Ancients right here. Glacius having to walk right by. I don't know if Glacius actually saw him initially, though. In the Eye of the Storm, he's going to turn around.
Oh,
Riptide was coming in, but Parasite was also nearby, so quickly, action's like not going to happen.
This is a really, really nice turn right there. He just stopped in a matter of like centimeters and just, alright, I'm not going in.
Yeah. That was a very quick turnaround on his part, but I think that was definitely the better decision. Swiftblade also was running over, and that could have got deadly for him if he tried to commit to that kill onto Empath there. So Haxorn just wanted to go back to farming. That he does, and it's farming well. And obviously, we mentioned Soulsteal with the Nullstone idea, but Riptide also going to be very important to see what he prioritizes here. I feel like the couple times we have seen him, especially after even the changes, is it's, I guess, kind of like before, really. It's, more the right click. The Insanitarius, Brutalizer, pretty good. Elder Parasite, I want to say we even saw.
Yeah, we've seen it, definitely. But I think it's going to be the Insanitarius, definitely.
Okay.
Makes him very tanky and hits hard and fast. So, a really good pickup for Riptide. And, maybe the Basher if he feels like that's necessary. Even a Shrunken Head could be useful. Swiftblade is going to have to be very close to that. Yeah, he's really close to his clear at this point. Jungle is not stacked for him, unfortunately. I feel like Love should put some time into stack the medium camps, since Parasite, of course, is taking the hard camps. But if both the medium camps are triple stacked, that's a lot of flash farm for Swiftblade
Yeah.
instead of sitting behind Swiftblade on the lane where there's only Swiftblade farming. Top lane?
Going to be going on the Behemoth here. Magnus stunned in first. It set up easy Demon Hand combo there from Soul Stealer to secure the kill. So well played and good roam coming out, Behemoth. He's had to be, yeah, he must have been really close to that portal key. But ends up dying right there, so it's going to be a little bit shy. But at the same time, he is still pretty close. 1800 gold saved up. Middle lane, they're really trying for something here. You look at this. There we go. The Iron Storm goes over the cliff. I love that. Double damage on Riptide. More axes though. We got the Matrix off, and here comes the support. They're looking to turn this one. Sasha the Element of Void pulls them all in. However, in response from Iceland, go, and they get the kill on Moraxis. Behemoth is resurrecting though, and Swiftblade able to spin on out of it. So Riptide did fall in the midst of that. And that was it. Did somebody... No, nobody bought back. I felt like some more died there.
Yeah, that was surprising. There was only 2 people died that fight.
Yeah, one on each side. Wow. I thought for sure that was going to be... But I guess the Element of Void really stopped them. However, they didn't have the damage at that time to follow it there. So.
Yeah, well, Elemental Void were in favor of the team I thought were taking all the kills. Like, I thought Mid were getting a lot of kills, and then to follow it up with the Elemental Void, but... sorry, yeah, no, I actually hit the right one there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seemed like they just didn't have the damage, and Haxorn ended up dying from Raxus. So, not even, I mean, a bad trade for from Complexity here.
There's that Insanitarius finished on Haxorn now. As coming after the death there, of course, so going to be delivered here. But again, Portal Key, yep, there we go. Just purchased on Behemoth, so we're seeing some key items coming out here on either side. Obviously, the Rune Cleaver on Swiftblade, and I think he actually just bought something else. So the courier is being sent out to him. We'll see in just a second here what it is. Probably think either the Firebrand or the Abyssal Skull even.
Yeah.
But that's going to happen in a second. Middle lane in the meantime, they jump Riptide, by the way. The stun on the Glacius as well. I believe Glacius actually froze Riptide, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if that was on purpose or a misclick, but maybe to mitigate damage. He dies anyways, but Behemoth dies in response. The Infest from Parasite, though, he's going to be fine. And everyone else being here not going to matter in the end. The wall off from Empath, just a little short. Probably weren't going to go in, though, at that point. So, another one.
So one for one again. Oh wait, no. Love also died.
It did?
No,
Love didn't die. No, he walled there at the end and he ran away.
Really, I really feel like these fights, there's a lot of people dying, but actually no one is dying. Interesting. All right, well, fair enough. So 1 for 1 again.
Yeah, it's not as many as maybe it looks like at face value, but I will say the biggest thing here for me is that Riptide, man, this is a guy that was snowballing early farm and looking really... He still has 350 gold, like he's still doing great, but he's died 3 times now at 14 and a half minutes. And Riptide really is a hero that's all about moving, I feel like, especially with that ultimate.
Yeah, for sure.
He's now 0-3 and 2 right here, so... Yeah, he hasn't actually left the middle lane yet. I don't know if that's just because there hasn't really been opportunities elsewhere, or maybe he's getting tunnel vision, but they're going to go for more Axis again. He pops the Matrix to stop. He's still alive. Are you kidding me?
Oh
he's going to barely survive again. You see Riptide gets the hell on out of there before the turn happens, at least, but...
his shield was all the way down, and he had, like, I don't know, 50 HP. Whew.
So close. Riptide's got to be frustrated, man. I mean, he's getting so close here several times. Just can't come through. But again, his GPM is still actually not bad in the end, so at least he has that going for him.
Yeah, and Solstier has taken over Formos in farm. Provosk is top farmer in the game, so I guess they got that going for them.
He chose to get a portal key too, by the way. With the Null Stone, he gets to see right. Magnus actually just got his as well, so a couple of those coming out now. For the
okay. I wonder if Timber's going to go straight for a Shrunken Head, or if he's going to get a portal key as well. Yeah,
Look at
he's
this. Yeah, Veiled Rot here once again. Tempest, I feel like he went. Yeah, I mean, he bought the Mighty Blades. It looks like a shrunken head. Oh no, yeah, you're right.
there we go.
Yeah,
Because I feel like when Soldier has his pole key, he can get into those Tempest holes and ulti.
yep.
But Tempest kind of needs the mobility to get. Oh, that could be a
Oh,
kill.
that's a big chance. A Soul Burst, and Swiftblade is no longer there. Good execution coming out. You see Parasite running in with the Skeleton King. Nice job with the destroying of the Steam Bat. However, it didn't destroy, I guess. It just made it not go off. In the end, he dies anyway, so good attempt, more so, by Zippy, but ends up falling there. But hey, still worth it. They got a kill on a Swiftblade in the jungle, and they get out of there. Soul Stealer does at least. The important one, and yeah, all of a sudden, Proboscis is now 600 gold per minute, pretty much, here in this game. So that portal key paying off right away, right there. Being aggressive with it, and again, I gotta say, this is just not usual. It's almost like Fresh is kind of changing things up a little bit with their idea, their strategy. Probus being a little more involved with the team now. Or looking for kills. And we mentioned the last game, obviously didn't work out nearly as well in the end, but this time around, the aggressive Soul Stealer, hell, using a Veil Rot right there to set up that kill right eventually is greedy, but it worked out for them, so. It almost feels like Riptide's the one that's focusing more on sitting back and farming, whereas Soul Stealer's
Yeah, definitely. Probos. Well, maybe. I mean, they both have been involved in 2 kills. It's just Haxton has been involved in 3 negative, or 3 deaths. Yeah. So, yeah. Both of them are having great farm though. So, I think what Mint ultimately is trying to achieve is to go into the mid-late game with a lot of farm on both these heroes, so they can contest the Swiftblade.
Top lane, Soul Stealer pushing it in. There is no tower here, the secondary tower for that matter, so that's some pretty good distance to go. Behemoth, though, responds with a shockwave. The Fisher Strike in the background also hits Glacius. Didn't even realize, I'm sure. Ends up getting the kill onto Soul Stealer. Now Glacius, he is going to port out just in time, so well played there. Riptide, ooh, he was coming over. He's still thinking about it. He's got the ultimate, but he says it's not worth it. Instead, he goes middle now. He's going to find Swiftblade. He hits him, actually. Now he's in trouble. If he pops the ultimate right here, Swiftblade, this should be a kill. Yep. So slashes, no chance for Haxer. And, I don't think he intended to hit him with a stun there.
No. I think he bumped into Swiftblade in here, and then Swiftblade's like, oh, thank you. Come here. And look at Tempest. Oh, they got dusted. Magnus is ulting.
Yeah, he is. Moraxis just missed. He tried to stomp him first. There's the Elemental Void. It is going to catch Swiftblade. Swiftblade goes down to the end. Here comes Soul Stealer as well. He can't get the Soul Burst off, at least just yet. Will it matter? Parasite looking for a face hug. No, he decides to turn on to Magnus instead. Magnus is going to fall. Demon Hand's coming out, but now Moraxis jumps back in, and all of a sudden Soul Stealer's in trouble. Parasite, he will go down. The Soul Burst goes off. As Moraxis drops about half-life, but the Fissure Stun hits, and Fuzzy Sloth gets credit for the kill on a Soul Stealer right there. That was a buyback, by the way, on Probusk, and it's going to be a genocide in the end as Riptide just resurrected as down goes Glacius. Meanwhile, it's not over yet, though. Riptide wants a chase. He's still trying to get his first actual kill of the game. He's not going to get it yet, though.
Does he ulti up? He doesn't have ulti. Oh, it's coming up now, though.
Yeah.
Is he not chasing? He's not chasing.
Not worth it.
Mm.
Hell of a fight, though, again, for complexity here.
Yep.
Despite Swiftblade dying.
I mean, Soulster got killed in the end as well, so
yeah,
it's not the end of the world. But yeah, Swiftblade definitely. That was like I was actually surprised that I'm surprised at how Mint is not dominating these team fights. Like it seems like every single Tempest hole actually is connecting, and this fight Magma's ulti also connected. So yeah, I'm not sure if there's just absolutely no damage follow up to that, but yeah, I'd expect them to do a lot better in team fights.
Yeah. Say killing Swiftblade was obviously good for Mint, but man, that was so close to even being so much worse for them. Even Moraxis nearly jumped Magnus right before he was able to get in to follow up the Elemental Void, and if that was able to land, then it may be a completely different story. And well, but in the end, obviously, still Complexity came out on top big time, despite losing the Swiftblade. Now, again, the stats at the top necessarily don't tell us that this is a big a lead by any means for complexity, but that's definitely a huge momentum burst for them after
Definitely.
that fight. Frostburn picked up on Swiftblade in full now as well. And he's farming the
Yeah.
Ancients here.
Yep. I guess he's gonna. I could see him build that into a Dawnbringer and then a Conjuro, and then try to chase down people like Haxor and Tempest, perhaps in enemy jungle. That's kind of like the TMM build of Swiftblade. I could see him go for something aggressive like that.
See what he likes here in the end. The Abyssal Skull is going to be picked up by Parasite, actually. So what you got has that level 3, at least I'm guessing, the level 3 puzzle box here. The Abyssal Skull.
Yeah, I mean that's actually a really early puzzle, but he's sitting at 4 GPM. That's a little 4 puzzle box. He's having
Wow.
great farm.
Yeah, as far as out farming a Tempest, early on in the jungle would sell you, probably not going to happen. But definitely when it comes to hero kills and adding up into the mid game, it can happen. So that's what we see here. He is 4-1 and 4, and definitely reflective of that 400 gold per minute. So good to see for complexity again. Look at Fresh; they're trying to make another play right here. However, they're not careful. This could backfire once again. Middle tower is denied. Swiftblade is top lane currently. And here we go. They stun in on Empath. Moraxis is here this whole time, though. Behemoth Shockwave, he missed completely, however. So a good start right now for Fresh, but Soul Stealer gets caught by Moraxis. Out comes the Soul Burst. Moraxis, he takes it. He runs away. Element of Void, it catches Swiftblade. He's in trouble. Swiftblade, can he press R in time? Can he get Swift Slashes off? Yes, he can. He barely gets it off in time. However, Soul Stealer blinks in to finish him off, but Soul Stealer all of a sudden he's by himself. It's a 4 versus 1, and the fidget stun just out of range, but the puzzle box minions with Parasite inside is probably going to be enough to secure the kill. Let's get the portal key off. He cannot. Down he goes. It's another genocide for complexity. They kill Swiftblade. If you're complexity, you're like, you know what? Fine, kill our carry. We'll take winning the fights every time.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, it's still a valid trade, and Fozzie's getting some momentum here. He's 4-1 and 4. He had a pretty rough laning, but his score doesn't reflect that at all. What's he doing here?
Speaking of score, too, man. 0-0 and 12 on Love here. Playing the
true.
Empath.
Yeah. Wow.
That's
assist king.
Talk about prime support action coming out here from Empath. That's definitely good to see, though, for complexity's sake, obviously. Yeah, they got to be feeling really good now. Now the stats would suggest, and I do got to say nothing against Haxor, but man, this Riptide has had 0 impact this game. He really has had nothing. I mean, he's 0-5 and 3, despite okay farm. It's not showing because he keeps dying when he has gold saved up, and he can't really do anything with it here. So
it feels like it's not a lot of fun to be melee against BG Moraxis and puzzle boxes from Parasite. And the Swiftblade, I completely understand his situation. He really doesn't have a lot of room to wiggle in. He's gonna need he's gonna need a strong hit before he really can survive fights and get kills. And he's pretty far away from that.
yeah.
I guess maybe actually he's more than half with 1,300 gold saved up and already the Mighty Blade. So okay, he has something to look forward to. That strong net is gonna hopefully for him prevent him dying all the time mid lane.
Well, it's bottom lane too, but yeah, middle lane Riptide, they are going to jump him. There's more access. Glacius is kind of nearby, but it's not going to matter. He gets there way too low. Maybe it will matter, actually. The Insanitarius switch. No, he still goes down. Glacial downpour. Soul Burst in the background, but again, the Matrix is up. 4 more Axis takes the damage. Soul Stealer, he's got that null stun up still. In fact, here's Riptide now. Guess who's not here this whole time? It is Swiftblade, so they lose it on a lot of damage. However, Behemoth goes back in, and now here comes back Swiftblade with Empath that the As won, but he got there too late, I think.
Yeah.
And that will be the end of it. So, was there a buyback? Yes, there was on Fuzzy Sloth. Okay.
Hacks spot back.
Oh, that too, yeah. So, both more Axis and Riptide end up buying back here.
Yep.
And in the end, I don't know, I guess maybe Mint coming out on top there.
I think Haxor surviving with toggling on the Insanitarius just in the last second. That's definitely gave him it took some extra spells to get him down, and you should probably refrain from making plays like this when if you're complexity, you want your Swiftblade a little bit closer when you do plays like this. and I think he just finished his shroud here.
Yep.
Yep.
There we go, and he's looking right away. Oh, never mind. Let him in going through the jungle, but
I thought he was gonna do that as well. But yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier, early game. This is where the nullstone actually really pays off for Probusk. He can farm the jungle without being afraid of like a shrouded Swiftblade coming and killing him. Unless there's a love inside him. Oh, mid lane, Serena.
Glacius, yeah.
They're going here. Serena's ward should have scouted that though.
Uh-oh.
Oh my god, Busk, you should have seen that.
Uh-oh, he's dead. Takes out the
Oh,
nullstone
no.
with something. Was
Yeah,
that the
he's
Swift
ulting.
Slashes? It
Yeah,
was.
Love didn't have mana. Love didn't have mana for the Essence Link. And now he was like, Love, you're just gonna take the nullstone with the Essence Link, and then I'm
Yeah.
gonna ulti him. Love was like, okay. Oh, no, sorry.
Oops.
Didn't work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
didn't kind of just trusted his teammate right there, and in the end, unfortunately, I mean, they got the kill. That's what matters. So it's like if he took it off and still got the kill at the ult, it's like same thing happens, right? So
Yeah.
as long as you get the kill, that's what matters there. And they also happen to get a kill at the bottom lane too, by the way, on a Magnus. So yeah, a little off there, unfortunately, as far as being able to remove the nullstone first. But
You know what?
in that case, it didn't matter.
Swiftblade should get a codex. I heard somewhere
No,
that
he should not
it's
get a
really good.
codex.
It's really good
To
against
remove
nullstone.
nullstones, yeah,
Exactly.
great strat.
Great strat. 10 out of 10.
You cannot argue it, really. So, you know, I did notice Empath got the Lex Talionis, but of course it's worth pointing out that will not remove Nullstone.
Yeah.
That would be a very cheap Nullstone removal
Yep.
item. So,
And Rax are being pressured here. Probus doesn't have a buyback. Magnus doesn't have a buyback, and Glacius does not have a buyback, so they can't actually defend this.
yeah, I mean that could have been the game right there. Honestly, we're kind of joking about it a little bit, but honestly, they Complexity may very likely just won the game right there. In fact, chucking out a Tempest.
Whoa.
He's
Oh no!
gonna whiff completely. He, I'm guessing he tried to hit somebody and they did 4 feet away first. I didn't catch that, but Parasite in the background, he catches Soul Stealer. Then he quickly falls back with the Ballista. You look at the Eye of the Storm on Riptide.
Oh
He's
no!
back
Busk as
and
well.
forth, back and forth. He's trying to find an opportunity. He will not get the stun off in the end. Again, Complexity just playing it very safe, spread out, not giving the obvious opening.
That was
And
full
they're going to fall
tilt.
back.
All of them activating their stronger heads without. Oh.
And there they go back in. Tempest goes down. Riptide's dead. They're staying dead right here. Nice Soul Burst counter, but here comes Swiftblade. Behemoth and Parasite will fall, but Behemoth especially, he already did his job, really. The Glacial Downpour did some good damage. He ends up going down to Swiftblade, though. And look at the couple of auto attacks to take out Soul Stealer. It's a hat trick for Formless, and that's a third genocide, I'm pretty sure, of the game, and that is going to be a GG well played. Game 2 and the series going to go to Complexity here in this 2-game series. So they get the bonus point as well, and they each will have 3 points so far here on the group stages as a result of this. So well played by Complexity, though, taking out the Cycle 1 champions, defeating the Cycle 2 champions here.
Definitely. I mean, strong performance from Complexity. They definitely that was a 2-0.
Yes, it was.
The cycle champions here matching up. Complexity ending up having the better end of the deal here in the initial what's it called group stage.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good for them. But yeah, still it doesn't really it doesn't really conclude anything. But
No.
it's a good start. You feel good on the first day that you beat the toughest competition. You're gonna have a nice feeling on your team.
Obviously, yeah, it's got to be a good feeling for the team as a whole. But yeah, no, this is just the beginning for Complexity. It's only 2 series now down, of course, for Fresh. And in fact, I just updated the standings right here, so you can get an idea. Again, this is through a couple 3 matches in total that we technically have. I don't know how the other ones played out here. If it is finished yet, it looks like BMG and Revolution. Yep, no, their game did finish. Let's double check on that actually real quickly. I know BMG won the first game there. Game 2 was to BMG as well, it looks like, and even a little more decisive. So what you see on screen is actually even a little bit